Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the 343industries.org community forum Let's Play of XCom 2. My name is Red Star Rocket. When I left you last time, we just finished our assault on an Advent black site.
You continue to prove resourceful, Commander. Although you have dealt a blow to the aliens' work by destroying the black site, there is still much to be done.
Commander, remote reconnaissance indicates the aliens have a UFO hunting for our position. We need to be careful about where we pick our flight paths.
And this week, we're unfortunately not going to start with a mission. Instead, we're going to start with a quick overview of our squad, as I've forgotten who's injured. So, as you can see at the moment, we have Gamble and Shotty both out for quite some time. T will be available again in a few days, and Church, once he finishes his sharpshooter training, will be available to take over sniper duties from Gamble. Although, of course, if need be, until then, we can get Yash to fill in. So right now we don't have any missions that we could go for other than the DLC mission here. So, well, we could start making contacts elsewhere. As right now we don't know where the next alien facility will be when it arrives. We're just going to head back to the Resistance HQ and gain some intel. As intel is one of the game's currencies, and it's always useful to have as much as possible. We may also take a look at the black market once the next mission arrives. But for now, we're going to finish our research, finish some construction, and finish training one of our soldiers before we do anything else. Or not! Isn't that convenient? So here, this is Operation Choking Tome. Advent is moving valuable alien technology across West Asia. If we strike quickly, we can recover the alien tech for our own purposes. And as a supply raid, this mission will grant us a large number of supplies, which is obviously great, as we are still reeling a little bit from the dark event that we failed to stop earlier, which would have given us some supplies in its own right, but also means we're going to get less supplies at our next supply drop. So the chance to pick up some extra resources here is really, really useful. So for a supply raid, we do have as much time as we need, so again we can afford to be a little more cautious on this one. However, as we don't have any snipers available, we also don't have Morrigan available to spot for our squad. We're going to take a fairly standard composition rather than one catering specifically to long missions. And just as a thought, we'd better make our frost bombs available. Tie will definitely be coming along here. Supply raids are also worth... something that's interesting to know about supply raids is that the supplies themselves are on map, and enemies do sometimes take cover by them, so one of the considerations we have to make when we're doing things like using explosives is making sure that we're not blowing up all the roads of the mission. So we can afford to be a little free with explosives a lot of the time, but for the most part we want to be doing our best to try and flank enemies, rather than just blowing everything up. And I think we'll take blue on this mission. We'll also give Yash a run out here, as it's been a while since we've had him on one. We could also take Kool-Aid or Slick, or we could take Boss. Having a slightly ranked up specialist could be quite useful, but on the other hand, having extra grenades from Slick would be very, very useful. So, as this isn't a hacking based mission, I think we are going to take Slick. We have our frost bombs, of course. I don't believe we have any modified weapons to distribute, although we could start looking into upgrading some weaponry a little bit. So for our freeze grenades, I'm not quite sure who would put those on. Do we have any personal combat sims available? We have a willpower bonus here. I'm not quite sure who would put that on. Perhaps we'll put that on Kiko, as he's our squad leader, and he doesn't already have one. Yeah, I think we'll pop that on Kiko just for now. Worth noting that in the last video I did actually end up wasting a personal combat sim, as I thought that slot was empty and pasted one over it, so unfortunately Ty has lost a combat sim, but never mind. Never mind. And I think we will put the frost bombs on Kiko here. In terms of weapon upgrades, I think that I would like to apply the ones we have, which are a free reload and an expanded magazine, to Gamble when he gets back. So for now, let's start this mission.
Deployed.
In position to drop.
We picked up an alien transmission. They're trying to move an Advent troop transport the Resistance disabled during a recent skirmish. There's an opportunity here for us to pull some of their technology off the transport. But we'll need to secure the area and eliminate any remaining hostiles to make that happen. Menace 1-5. The Advent troop transport is nearby. Engage and eliminate all hostile forces.
You'll notice here that Slick has a point of armor. Now, in some ways it's a little strange, for me at least, that this is an upgrade which is given on the Grenadier side of the tree, the blast padding. As normally you would want it to be on soldiers who could also equip various armor suits. But I suppose it's better than nothing. And of course, having a slightly tanky character is great, especially when, as with Grenadiers, they have a bit bonus health to start with. For the moment, we're just going to put a Yash up here, I think. Although we won't go straight there. We do want him to have an elevated position, and we do want him to have a good view of the battlefield, specifically so that he's in a position to get those high bonuses from his sniper rifle.
Good copy. Moving on target.
And I think we're briefly going to send a Heavy over this way, just to try and make sure there's nothing that could put us at risk of being flanked from this side. So we'll pop him in here for now. And just for the same reason, I think we are going to bring Slick over here, have a quick look over in this direction. We do have an elevated position here, so that's also a bit advantageous. So we'll just bring Slick as far forward as we need.
Moving out.
And Kiko, of course, can shoot twice, so I'm thinking we'll pop him on the high ground just for the moment.
Let's do this.
And that way, hopefully, it won't matter so much if he can't reposition to get a shot, as the combination of the DMR's innate accuracy bonus at mid-range plus the height advantage should mean he can get both shots off without too much trouble.
Roger that.
And I think Slick can see that captain there? Yeah. Though unfortunately, Yash doesn't appear to have a line of sight in it, which isn't great, but it's not a huge deal. In the meantime, we're just going to send a Hebe over this way to see if we can get a quick view over the battlefield. I think we'll put him on this side of the tree.
Confirmed.
That's not a particularly great view, unfortunately, but I suppose we could bring him down here. There's a far enough way that they're not going to blunder into him anytime soon.
Moving to designated position.
Yeah. Other than this little blind spot here, which is a matter of some concern, I don't think we'll be facing any enemies from this direction. And of course we can see a advent supply area here as well. I'm not sure quite where the supplies will be. Perhaps they'll be actually within the building, perhaps there'll be a trains behind it or over on here, but we're not in any rush at the moment. So we can deal with that as it happens. We'll, however, bring Slick down here. Again, just because we want to get as much visibility, as much intel, I suppose, as possible about what we'll be fighting. And this doesn't look like it'll activate them, so we'll just bring Slick down here for now.
Heading there now.
Now ideally, I think when the time comes to start picking fights, I would like to have Yash around here. But for the moment I'll settle for just popping him over here.
Got it, moving.
As that way hopefully he'll be in a position to fire off a couple of decent shots. Tyrone we're going to advance just a little with. I think we'll probably pop him just up to here for now.
Roger that.
As again, there's nothing to say that a group of enemy soldiers couldn't appear from somewhere around here. It's unlikely, but it's possible, so we just want to be cautious for that.
Confirmed. Well covered.
And just from here, as we're not under a time limit, we'll overwatch. And I think the first thing to do here will be just to move a Hebe up. We may even just go full overwatch this turn.
I'm all over it.
As there's not really any sense in revealing at this point we'll have a soldier who's already down all his actions. Especially when there's two enemy squads available. We'd rather try and take them piecemeal as far as we can. And unfortunately this spot here would be detected by those enemies, which is unfortunate, but there we go.
Heading to that location.
We're also going to bring Kiko forward just a little here
On the knife.
to try and get a bit more vision on this low ground. I'm going to take a little risk here, but I don't expect there'll be anything down there at this point.
On my way.
And Tyrone I would like to put here, but unfortunately that is exactly within these chaps' vision range, so it's a no-go. I think we'll stick with the high ground advantage. We'll just pop them here for now.
Will do.
And it's a little bit of a shame we can't open fire this turn, as I'd love to start blasting away with this guaranteed crit. I mean, that has a reasonable chance of taking out that sectoid outright, but never mind. We'll pop Yash on Overwatch and we'll do the same with Slick.
Affirmative. Covering now.
And that is a little unfortunate. As I suspect these enemies will patrol to here, at which point they will spot Ty. So we do need to engage this turn, unfortunately. Before we can do that, we need to do everything we can just to ensure that we're not going to activate this group over here as well.
Good copy. Moving on target. Location confirmed.
Just the moment we're going to bring Slick to here, and I hope this isn't going to activate that pod. There's a chance it will, but at least we'll only activate the one pod that way. And Bulwark appears... Oh, it's staggering shot, of course. Now. Something we could do here is we do have this freeze bomb, so provided those enemies are clubbed up, as I believe they are, we could toss a freeze bomb on them. And then deal with them next turn, and that way it does seem a little like a waste of a freeze bomb, but at the very least we would only have to activate one pod at a time, and then we could just take them out at our leisure next turn. Plus they wouldn't run to cover. But I would rather, if possible, save that for slightly more dangerous enemies. And for some reason, the pistol appears to have a slightly better critical chance. I wonder if that's because it is the Shadow Keeper. Yeah. For now, we'll bring a heavy up to here. And on the one hand, I would be tempted to try an Overwatch trap here, but I don't know if they'll shoot immediately upon flanking a soldier, or if we at least get the Overwatch off first. Yeah. I think the sensible course of action here is going to have to be the Frost Bomb.
Moving to designated coordinates.
Unfortunately, we still can't see that enemy group, and I've just put him out of range with the Frost Bomb. This is actually quite a silly decision I've made there, so at this point I think the best thing we can do is Overwatch.
Scanning. Roger. Got my eyes on.
Yeah.
Cover's blown.
Hopefully we'll get our Overwatch attacks off first before he shoots.
Taking heavy damage.
Not good.
Target's still up.
Yeah, that was always a possibility there. It's very, very unfortunate, but I knew it could happen. On the bright side, Slick now has a guaranteed crit on this, so let's hope he does maximum damage. Thank you very much, Slick.
Hostiles pacified.
We were a little unfortunate there, but it's one of those things that happens. So, just before we finish this group, we are going to take a short break here, as I have isolated the cause of my recording problems, and essentially we're running into file size limits, so by putting regular breaks throughout the video, we'll hopefully avoid dropping any, dropping a few seconds here and there, so don't go anywhere and I'll see you in a few moments. Hello and welcome back. When I left you a few moments ago, we'd just taken a shot on Tyrone, which unfortunately is going to put him out of action for some time, but we have at least avoided activating two groups at once, which is quite important. And I'm a little torn here, because on the one hand I would like to simply move Kiko to here, and take a pistol shot against this guy, which would kill him pretty much instantly. But I'm a little hesitant to start firing just for the moment, as we do need to deal with this soldier over here. Although what we could probably do, we could get Yosh to move to here, pop a grenade at him and hopefully blow that cover out. And then Ty and Ahivi would have a decent chance of just shooting him to pieces. It's a shame we don't have Morrigan here, otherwise she'd have a guaranteed bit of damage we could pop on, but never mind. We do have grenades, we can fall back to them if need be, so I think this is the choice we'll make here. So with the high cover gun, that would be a 92% shot. I think we'll go for this.
Heading to that location.
Don't quite have enough range here to wound that trooper, but it's not a big deal. As long as it does actually blow this wall out.
Get ready for a surprise!
And yeah, that's fine. But first things first, we'll take this attack with Kiko just to ensure we don't accidentally reveal anything a bit further over here. I don't think that's likely, but it's a possibility.
On my way. Object secure.
And as thought, we've got a 109% shot here, a 92% shot here, so this shouldn't be any issue at all. Nice easy kill. And this is a guaranteed kill here, so what we're going to try and do... Oh no, that actually wouldn't, because he's not guaranteed to crit it. Yeah. Unless we're extremely unlucky, this will kill him. And even if it is, we can follow up with a pistol shot.
Target down.
And we'll just use our second action to reload here. There's not much point in an Overwatch shot from here. Tyrone we're going to have to be a little careful with for the rest of the mission, but
I'm on it.
for now, we can just pop him an Overwatch.
My position's been compromised!
And hopefully he'll get a shot off here, though it's not guaranteed. Yeah, that's fine. And we do have a shot against the Advent officer, but unfortunately he is in high cover. But if we move to here, we can get a flanking shot, which is great. And we wouldn't have line of sight from there, unfortunately. So I think what we'll do is we will move Slick up to here, have him take out that stun lancer, and then we'll probably have Tyrone use demolition on that soldier's cover. And we can always just pop him into high cover here as well. I don't think we necessarily run the risk of revealing anything here, especially as there's just been an enemy pod come out from there, but it's something to be aware of. But I think for the moment we can afford to do this reasonably risk-free.
Closing on target position now.
Now we could launch a grenade here, which would do some damage, and I think that would lead to a guaranteed kill for Yoshi, minus a 5% chance for a miss. Whereas this way, if he fires now, it's not guaranteed to kill due to that low crit chance, so Well, that said, we could always move a Heavy up here for an easy shot, so... You know, I think actually we'll just have a Heavy move to here and take that flank shot.
Closing on target position now.
Since Slick has guaranteed crits. Plus we can actually save some ammo here, because the pistol shot doesn't cost anything and it's a guaranteed hit. Yeah, nice easy finish.
Target neutralized.
So we'll save a grenade here, we'll go with demolition. For those wondering, I am actually using a mod to improve the effectiveness of demolition. By default, it's a specific attack against cover rather than an aiming cone. But I found it to be less than useful as it's not guaranteed to actually destroy cover, so it's one of those things that I haven't really, that I don't really use all that much. And at any rate, with a bit of luck, this attack from Yoshi will just finish this officer off. But if not, Slick can move in and mopping it up easily enough. Yeah, nice easy finish. Oh, not quite. Spoke a little too soon there. And we wouldn't get a shot from here, unfortunately, as I'd like to pop him into cover, but never mind. We'll just bring him to here for now.
Understood. Moving out.
That's a 92 to hit, which is... I think we'd probably be safe taking that, but we wouldn't have a backup plan if things went wrong. And Kiko is just too far away. So this isn't really what I would have wanted to do, but there's no sense taking any risks here.
Fire in the hole.
And we'll also just bring Kiko back up here for the moment.
Move, move, move.
Now this area here does appear to be on fire. I'm not sure if that would spread to this spot here, but this spot here would be a great sniper perch for the rest of the mission, so... For the moment, I suppose it pays to just be cautious. We'll take a turn to,
Moving to position.
just reload our forces anyway.
Orders confirmed. Moving out. It's killing time. I'm on it. Ready to go. Moving to Overwatch. Good to go.
Kiko, we may as well... I suppose we could pop him on Overwatch, actually. He has enough ammo thanks to his expanded magazine.
Moving to Overwatch. Moving to Overwatch.
Now, I would like to move Tyrone up, but of course we do have to be mindful of the fact that he is the most injured squad member. So perhaps we'll just bring Kiko to here.
On the move.
Slick as well, we'll just bring forward.
Okay.
And I'm still not quite sure where this train is. Supply raids normally have a train, although I suppose it could just be this outpost here. So, little uncertain there, but we'll know it when we see it, I suppose. Ty, as well, we'll have just fall back to this spot here,
I'm on the move.
as it's reasonably well protected. And a Hebe, I think we'll just pop just over here
Position confirmed.
for an Overwatch. Well, Yash, we will have Overwatch as well. So at this point, we'll reload Kiko, and we'll have everyone else move to Overwatch.
Ready to roll. Covering now. Moving to Overwatch. On Overwatch. Affirmative. Covering now.
It's quite unusual to see rocks burning, really, but never mind.
On the move. Got advent here.
And as we suspected, there's a good group in here. And these are just regular Advent troops. Obviously, I am a little concerned at this point about the fact that Kiko is only in half cover. And of course, Evie is a no cover, as is Yash. And they could move, of course, just to flank from this side here, so we can't just pop them into this piece of cover. And this, whereas this spot might not necessarily give us a decent shot against them, so not an ideal position for our sniper there, but we'll see what we can do to work around it. We could, of course, just move him all the way back to here, as unless we reveal something over here, which is unlikely, he'd be able to probably take some long-range shots. Well, that said, there is the possibility of revealing something down here, so I'm just trying to think of anywhere we could put him where he would definitely be safe, but also wouldn't have his line of sight blocked. Though for the moment, I suppose we could always just pop him down here and hope for the best. I think what we're going to do this turn as well is we're just going to hunker down, as I can't think of a particularly good way of going about this, especially since we're in pool cover here with Kiko. So we'll just move him to a position where there's no line of sight from the enemies.
Rolling.
And we'll have Ty move back to here and then hunker down. Or even better, we'll have him move to here. I don't think they'd be able to get quite far enough to flank him there, but we'll move him back just one.
Roger that. Covering.
Now I suspect the sectoid will go for some mind control, which is not ideal, but it's something we can deal with if it happens.
Understood. Moving out.
As we can always freeze our errant soldier if need be,
Orders confirmed. On the move.
or any other number of tactics.
Okay.
But for now, these enemies are in decent cover. They're all in high cover. And actually I'm looking at this and I'm worried, is that going to burst because of that fire? That's something I hadn't considered, and I should have thought about that beforehand. Because if that cover splits at the end of this turn, Hebe will be just completely exposed to an entire round of incoming fire. I don't think that's likely to happen, but no, for now we're just gonna have to hope for the best here.
In position. Cover. What's going on?
And disorienting sucks, but it's the best of the available options. Yeah.
There's heavy fire in this zone. Something.
Oh! I hadn't realised you couldn't use grenades while you were in that position. That's unfortunate, but oh well, never mind. Right. So we'll blast these chaps here. That'll hopefully remove the overwatch there, so we can move Hebe to a slightly better position, and possibly even blow out this cover here, although I'm not quite sure why that's not being highlighted. That's strange, it looks like it can only be blown out from one side, which is unusual, but If it doesn't, it's no big deal.
Here, catch!
Yeah, we have ways that we can deal with that trooper, and the important part, of course, was removing the Overwatch. And Slick, of course, only has rubber shots here, but... although he is carrying that point of armour, so we could use him as bait, perhaps? Just for now, we're going to try and take out this admin trooper here, as it's better us in the sectoid, and of course Yash won't have a shot against the chap in the back. I don't expect this to hit, but if it could, it's nice. That's alright.
Target eliminated.
And now, of course, we could move a Hebe up to here. Just because Tyrone's health is so low, I think we are going to have to use Slick as a bit of a decoy here. From there, I don't know if a Frostbomb would necessarily be able to go far enough. We do need to Frostbomb that sectoid this turn, unfortunately, so...
Hit it there now.
we'll just pop a Frostbomb on him there. And the chap in the back, his aim isn't great. We could reasonably expect any attacks made by him to miss. And I'd like to move here, but I'd be worried about it, he'd be catching on fire, because that could spread. And we already have half our soldiers in low cover here, which is a really bad situation anyway, so... oh! Shoot, we could have... perhaps we could have tried something a little different, but earlier if I'd been able to blow this cover out, but... no, we'll save that grenade just for the moment. We'll save that grenade just for the moment, as we might be able to need it to blow out this front piece of cover here. Can that be done? Yeah, that can be done. So just for this turn, we're going to pop a Hebe of Overwatch, and hopefully that will prevent that other trooper from moving forward and getting an attack on against our wounded Ty. Although we are going to take an attack from this trooper, which is not what I'd have wanted.
There's heavy fire in this zone. Okay then.
And unfortunately, Slick is still disoriented, so functionally we are still a man down here, which is not great. There we go. And if we put that there, that'll hopefully not only blow out this piece of cover here, but also damage the sectoid a bit, meaning Yash can finish him quite easily.
Grenade out.
And if not, I suppose we could get Kiko to finish him. And that hasn't blown that cover out, that is unfortunate. So we can cast Shadowfall on him. We can also use Staggering Shot on this target here, which would put some guaranteed damage on, which would then mean that Heavy could shoot twice and probably take him out, unless we're particularly unlucky, and then we should be able to just follow up with a Shadowfall against that sectoid. So provided this hits, we should be alright here. That's fine. Well, that said, a Heavy, if he were to move to here, he'd have a guaranteed hit. He'd be flanking that sectoid there. And we could just use Shadowfall against him there. I think we'll try that.
Moving to designated coordinates.
100%, 100%. Before they do this, just to avoid loss in recording, we'll take a brief break. Don't go anywhere, I'll be back in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back. We are just about to, I believe, finish off this mission, as I think this will be the last enemy squad. There we go. And Nahibi is just about to put a couple of rounds in the head of this sectoid here.
Enemy destroyed. Status confirmed. All hostiles are down and the area is secure. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
A little frustrated about Ty being wounded there, if I'm honest. That's not one of the best pieces of play I've ever made. Although the tactical options we had, because we could see two enemy squads, were a little limited, so while that was very, very unfortunate, there's not a whole lot can be done about it. And overall, we've managed to get away with just one soldier being wounded, so by and large I'm happy with that. And every shot managed to hit, which is always really, really good. Cover bonus decent, average damage decent, and Slick's putting out an excellent display thus far.
I'm certainly impressed, Commander. Another heroic effort in the field.
15 days out, that is extremely unfortunate. So I think at the moment, that said, it could be worse, as right now we are down a sniper, a ranger, and a grenadier, so we do have a bit of cover for those positions. So that's really, really, really unfortunate, but not a whole lot we can do about that. Now, shaking off is good, but again, this is something that we'd really want perhaps on our tanky grenadier, as we really don't want to be allowing Heaver to be shot to begin with. And flare here, we'll just check exactly what that does. Yeah, makes it slightly easier to hit enemies. It's a free action, which is great, so we could perhaps toss one and then even take 2 shots against the target. And we can use it 3 times. It's not, I suppose it's an inverse smoke grenade in a way. And hopefully it'll be over a decent area as well. It won't be just a small frostbomb / frag grenade area. But anyway, it's definitely a better option than this, which is a bit too defensive for my tastes. So we'll go with flare here. And Slick, of course, will take demolition as well, because it's always good to have, I suppose, just as much collateral damage potential as possible in a cover-based game. And we've recovered an Elerium core and expanded magazine, which is good. I don't think we've picked up anything new down here, although we've picked up plenty of supplies, which is great. Some Elerium crystals and alien alloys as well. So we'll just have a quick look at our roster here. And while this is of concern, we are lucky in that these positions we do have some available cover for if need be. especially once T recovers. Though the priority will be, once we are able to muck out this debris here, we will look into getting an advanced warfare centre, which will enable us to heal our troops slightly more quickly. And we could recover some rookies here, but just for the moment, I don't think that's a huge deal. So we'll head back to the Resistance HQ here and just scan. And this UFO is making me very, very nervous, as if we get an adventure defense at this point in the game, I think we'll be in quite a lot of trouble, unfortunately. And we can see here we've got T back now. He's ready to participate again. And Church is all equipped here as well. So we'll just make sure he's got the correct weapons. Now, auto-loaders tend to be extremely useful in sniper rifles, simply because they functionally double the size of the magazine over the course of a couple of turns. So while expanded ammo magazines are great, auto-loaders are fantastic, although of course you can combine them for potentially something like 18 shots over the course of a turn, which is enough to wipe almost anything, assuming you can actually see that many targets. With note as well, autoloaders allow for reloading as a free action, so you don't need to worry so much about it. If you've got a shot but you're out of ammo, you can just reload and then shoot immediately, rather than needing to reload and then not being able to do anything with your sniper rifle. But we'll worry about that a bit later. And Maestro here, I believe, wanted to be a demolitions grenadier, which is great. Always worth having more of those. And I'd like to get the leader training station here, but again, it's not a huge priority, as we don't have a massive number of supplies just yet, and we'll want to be saved them in any case for
just give the word and I'll get started, Commander.
Building ourselves some goodies. This is something I definitely want to consider putting on Slick, I think. As the bonus point of arm would nail him a tank just a bit more effectively, and then we can pop him in the open. Although I'm not sure whether it'd be better to have that on a stasis vest, but at any rate, it's not a huge concern right now. There's also a few things we can get here when, if we choose to equip our soldiers with more advanced builder armors. That said, I'm a little disappointed we can't get Mimic Beacons, as Mimic Beacons are basically a get-out-of-jail-free card, especially in the early game, as they draw all enemy fire for a turn until they are destroyed. They do have a health pool, but it's fairly high, particularly again for this stage in the game. So once we've completed another retaliation mission, we'll definitely be wanting to build one of those. We also have a couple of Illyrium cores here we could use. Tracer rounds are really, really useful, as they grant a flat +10 bonus to aim, so I think we'll pick those up before our next mission. A smoke grenade could also be useful, potentially, if we need to get ourselves a bit of extra cover at some point. And AP rounds are absolutely invaluable, particularly in the later stages of the game, once you start getting very heavily armoured enemies. I tend to like putting AP rounds on my snipers, rather than tracer rounds, just as they tend to be fairly high damage, but also they don't need to worry about things like aim, as they normally have such high aim to begin with. A battle scanner could be useful though. We'd probably pop that on Morrigan when she recovers. At any rate, we'll
Dad sacrificed the
worry
only
about that
thing
later.
we had left to get this ship off the ground, and I won't let it be for nothing. She might be a little worse for wear right now, but with some new schematics and a little elbow grease, she'll be the toughest thing in the sky.
So we'll just push forward here.
Resistance communications facility now operational.
And we could upgrade this once we get some extra power. So I think what we'll do is once we get these complete, we will build up a new room there, and then we'll install a power plant here, and then hopefully an advanced warfare centre here, just to ensure we're healing troops as fast as possible.
I have made a number of interesting discoveries.
These magnetic-based weapons are a lot like the early railgun prototypes. They fire projectiles at extremely high velocity.
So, magnetic weapons, codename Orsted, completed April 9th, 2035. Having finally gotten a close look at the Gauss rifle technology Advent has deployed among their forces, I'm fairly confident we can develop a magnetic weapon system of comparable power. The obvious question, why not simply use the Advent weapons directly, was discovered early on by resistance forces in the field. Some years ago, the aliens began integrating a sort of genetic verification technology into their weapons that prevents them from functioning by any species whose DNA has not been pre-encoded. Unfortunately, the system also exerts lethal force on an unsuspecting authorized user, a fact we should disseminate as widely as possible among the resistance cells we have contact with. As for our own variation on the technology, Dr. Shen and I have taken components of the alien weaponry recovered from the field and utilised the key elements to develop a sustainable prototype. We can safely begin reproducing the system as the needed materials become available. Signed, Dark Tiger. It's worth noting as well here, it mentions we can develop a magnetic weapon system of comparable power. Advent magnetic weapons actually deal very slightly less damage than XCom's own weaponry. So hopefully this will translate as to being an upgrade rather than a downgrade. Also worth noting just over here, we have a lot of items available. The cosmetics of the weapons aren't going to change as we're using Halo Reach weapons, so while we will gain a damage boost and they'll technically be magnetic for purposes of gameplay, they're still just going to look and act like the weapons we already have. Although I'll just go between I'll purchase these between videos, I think. And we can instantly complete a sectoid autopsy here, so I think we'll do that now.
Though I was never witness to one myself, countless observers attest to the existence of a much smaller, less intimidating variant of the sectoid that took part in the original invasion. In the time since, this new being, the product of clear genetic manipulation, is now a familiar face to our forces operating in the field. The sectoid's rapid physical evolution over the past 20 years is a testament to both the aliens' mastery of genetic engineering and their pursuit of advancement, regardless of the risks.
This is the sectoid autopsy codename Kecksburg, completed April 9th, 2035. Preliminary autopsy exam conducted by Richard Teigen, acting science officer. Although my direct surgical experience is limited, the alien's genetic manipulation of the species previously catalogued as a sectoid provides a certain familiarity in relation to human anatomy. While the earliest documented accounts of sectoids on Earth indicated examples no larger than 1 metre in height, the specimens we encounter today are all nearly twice that size. Knowing full well that the aliens continue their efforts to integrate human and alien DNA, my findings here only reinforce the notion of a continuous development process. This larger sectoid variant has an even greater proportion of human genetic material, selectively combined with the intention of improving the otherwise limited physical capabilities of the original. With enhanced psionic capabilities and greater overall strength, I'd say they've succeeded. Signed, R. Tiger. And we've unlocked mind shields here, which are not particularly useful for my style of play, unfortunately. So moving on next, I think what we could do is unlock Gauss weapons, which I think will give us both a advanced saw, but also a advanced sniper rifle. So we'll go for that next.
I foresee a number of valuable applications stemming from this technology. I'll have a report assembled as soon as the research is complete.
Just for the moment, we still haven't unlocked any new missions, so we'll just continue to scan here. Here we go. West Asia, Operation Cursed Mist. Neutralize target, reward, supplies and intel. Which is exactly the kind of stuff we'd be wanting, so that's where we'll start off next time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you'll join me again next time when we take Operation Cursed Mist on. So until then, take care. Good night.